Hi everyone, I'm Susan Mulvihill and welcome back to my vegetable garden. It is early September and that means it's time to get very serious about getting the last of those green tomatoes to ripen. In early August I filmed my first of the 3 videos, and that was about reining in the plants, especially those tall branches that really aren't going to produce a tomato by the end of the season. In my second video, which was the 3rd week of August, we got a little more serious. We really pruned back right above any nice sized tomatoes, and I also cut back the watering to this bed by 50%. Well, today we're going to get very serious. So let's get started. Now we have been harvesting a lot of red tomatoes, so you're really not going to be seeing a whole lot of red ones on the plants. And actually there's a little shade here so it's hard for you to see. But I still have a lot of green tomatoes and I do want them to ripen. So here's what I'm going to do. The first thing I want to do is expose the existing tomatoes to as much sunlight as possible. And so what I'm doing is I'm just cutting them back so that it's right above the ripening tomatoes. Now you have to be careful when you're doing this because it is very easy to lop off a very nice tomato and then there's not a whole lot you can do about it. But if you're careful, you should be able to cut to very close to the tomatoes. Now this is a branch with some leaves on it that's hanging down, and it's really not serving a purpose at this point. So you can see I am really exposing these tomatoes. So look at that. Now these are Chef's Choice Orange, so that's why they look a little different, and they're a fabulous tomato. Definitely well worth growing and well worth ripening, that's for sure. Now see, I accidentally just pruned that one off, but that's a pretty small tomato. So just prune, prune, prune. Okay, I've pruned back the first section of this bed, and look at how many tomatoes you can now see. All of those guys were hiding behind leaves. So that is the first step that you want to do. The second thing is that you're going to turn off the water completely to your tomato bed. That will stress the plants and they will start ripening their tomatoes like crazy. Now if you are really desperate to get those tomatoes ripened, there are 2 more things that you can do. One is you can pull upward on the main stem of the plant until you hear a few roots breaking. That's another way to stress the plant. The other thing you can do is to take a shovel and in a half circle out a few inches from the base of a tomato plant, you can cut down a few inches into the soil, and that will also cut part of the root system. So that is a great way to stress the plant. Now I realize this all sounds very mean, but of course the goal is the best tomato harvest ever. Now if a frost is imminent in your location, don't worry about it because you can still get ripe tomatoes. What you want to do is to harvest all of your green tomatoes that are of a decent size and then take them indoors to a dark, cool area, and you lay them on top of a sheet of newspaper a few inches apart so they're not touching because they can rot, and then cover them with a sheet of newspaper. And you will be amazed at how quickly they ripen that way. And it extends your season quite a bit. I hope all of this is helpful and that you have a fantastic tomato harvest. Thanks for watching and happy gardening.